saw you last night. Do you remember? You had me halfway on the floor, halfway on my mind, closer in the hall, legs are in the sky. I didn't expect it from you. You took me by surprise. Nobody ever gets my river flowing to an ocean all night. Better believe I'm getting even with you tonight. So tell me, how can I take better care of you? How can I make your body go? Is there something other girls won't do? Making all your fantasies come true. Pop it, twist it, pull it, take it to the limit. Scratch marks on your back, I know you feel it. Carving my name into you. Spinning while we're sinning, eat it like it's dinner. Got enough for you. Pop it, twist it, pull it, take it to the limit. Scratch marks on your back, I know you feel it. Carving my name into you. Spinning while we're sinning, eat it like it's dinner. Got enough for you. Hey everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm listening to this new song by an artist I've been coaching, Una Mia. She just had her song featured on Zane Lowe's interview, which was very cool. So welcome, cameras on, let's go as people start to log on. And I do hope that we get a bunch of people. I'm going to spotlight myself here. We are live from Noble Street Studios. Here is Studio A's small recording room, and I'm just going to take what we do, right? Is sometimes this here is that main room. How effing cool is that? Like the best. And how many times have I been here recording on both sides of the glass, has been pretty incredible. Sometimes changing proximity for those of you who have been recording on your own and maybe recording in a basement studio or a home studio environment. Just coming to a space like this can actually change your life. It's like you feel the energy of who has been here before you, right? All the different artists on the floor, all the different musicians, the people who sat in this seat that I'm in right now. I've worked here with, look at that, so cool. Gavin Brown, who's behind like every major rock band. I've been here with Belly, Tehila, both of which who have worked with The Weeknd, and so many others I can't even tell you. I've sat here with George Sierra, who records almost exclusively Shawn Mendes's stuff too. So this is the place to be. And then the Studio B upstairs is this red, gorgeous room, also super vibey, really great to kind of get a stronger vision. So today's topic is vision. It's vision. So I don't know where everybody is. This is a very small little group. James, what's happening? We need more people on here. Emma, reach out to some people and say, get on Zoom. LVS community. Lauren, welcome. Nice to have some new faces. I better go live on Instagram too. That would be nice if I did. Oh, and this is also another guy I've worked with here too. Lex Barreo. I don't know if you guys know him. He just popped into my feed. This guy is a monster. He used to be in charge of A&R at Universal Music. He's American, and his job was really to bring artists from the Latin world. And so I worked with an artist named Alex Veliz. I don't know if you ever, Dancing Kizomba was his big single. And anyway, super cool. So welcome to everybody. So we're a small but mighty group here, and we want to start talking about vision, having a vision. And if you don't have a clear vision, how are you going to get one? So let me open that up, Emma. What's your vision? I'm going to ask some people some questions, and you guys too who are logging on here. What is your vision? What is your vision for yourself? What is your vision for your career, Emma?
You always pick me first. I in the
Log
next
on
2 years,
first.
okay, my vision for the next 2 years is that I want to be on an opening act that goes through Europe, and potentially North America, but I'm more focusing on the Europe market because I'm trilingual and English, French, and German. So that's my big tangible goal in the next 2 years.
Okay, so let's all take on Emma's vision for a minute. Okay, so you might have that same vision, right? You might have that vision. Whoever's watching this after, you may have a vision too for performing like Emma, and very specifically in an area. So we're gonna do a little mapping that I've done with so many artists, and Emma I know is working on it too. Sometimes I put 5 circles here, but today we're just going to do 3. Okay. This is you. Okay. This is you. And then we got 3 circles here. So we're talking about vision today, really creating a vision. Because sometimes we have a dream. It's a little different. I think if we can make a distinction between a dream, a wish, and a hope, and then like a vision, like a really clear, tangible goal, like it's a goal, right? It puts it into action instead of just dreaming about it. Does that make sense to you guys? It's like, I love dreaming too. I get it. And I want to wish and I want to hope for my career also, but we need a vision. So here's our vision. You're going to write whatever that vision is. This is you. So in Emma's case, she's saying like she wants to leapfrog over, let's say, a local situation. So whatever city you're in, put it in. Okay, put whatever city you're in here. I would use North America if you're in North America. And then we're going to go with Europe. And specifically, Emma, what part of Europe? I mean, we can get specific here if you want to. So what would,
Specifically, it would be Germany, France, Belgium, and then the UK.
okay. Do you like how I'm just jumping right into an exercise? Okay. So we're going to put those specific cities for Emma, and you guys have to do it also. So again, this is local. This is going to be, I'm just going to mute who that is. Melissa, I'm just going to mute you. So sorry. Okay. Sure, I'm going to mute you also, but I love that you're logged on. Okay. So this is local. It's very important to know who's hot in your city and in your country. So we're going to go with artists here at the bottom. We're going to call these artists, okay? So who could Emma, we're staying with Emma here, open for in Ottawa or in Canada? Who could you open for, Emma?
Ottawa's a bit tough because most people who have any type of success will leave.
Okay,
So,
but right now, who are you playing with?
um, I play with a lot of folk artists like Lynn Hansen, and I'm trying to get an opening slot for Julian Taylor.
Okay, write it down. So you guys do this along with Emma, okay? Keep going. And what about in Canada? Anyone doing what you want to do in Canada?
There's Wild Rivers. They're now on tour with Noah Kahn.
Okay, huge. Noah Kahn, guys, and you probably been following his career, and if you haven't, you should, because as of 1 year ago, 1 year ago, the guy was playing, and that's what you're going to do up above here. You're going to see that local things are like bars and clubs. Write them down. Bars and clubs. Stadiums are usually, so bars and clubs could be anywhere between 100 to 2,500 capacity. Stadiums would be 2,500 to 18,000 or 20,000. And then arenas, oh, I put a S beside arenas, would be that 20 to 60,000. Okay. Now, You could map this any way you want because even for Emma over here to open for the people in Europe, those specific cities, probably she could do this exact thing with those specific cities, Emma. You could take it right back to specific cities and what are the clubs and bars in those cities. Does that make sense? What are the stadiums? So if we went from bars and clubs, stadiums, and arenas, you could do this within your country or a different country. Does this make sense to everybody? Great. I love this. This is vision. This is vision and really implementing it. Okay. So in the bars and clubs, I want you to put what those venues are, the actual names of the venues. That's how you're going to get specific with the vision. Does that make sense? The vision becomes very clear once you do that. Okay? You're all following me? Emma's following. And then who, Emma, are kind of stadium level, that 20 plus thousand or under 20,000 stadium?
Under 20,000. I think Noah Khan is there
Oh
for
yeah,
me
I
right
didn't finish
now.
my story. Oh my God, my mind is. I didn't finish. A year ago, he was here. Sorry, I want to finish this. A year ago, he was here. Okay. Then in September, he was starting to do stadiums. The price, I bought a ticket for my daughter who loves him, who's been listening to him, by the way, for a year and a half. Well, now 2 years, but like a year prior to buying the ticket. So just like all of you, whatever level you're at, there are young people finding you and older people too finding you, okay, loving you. So I bought a ticket for her for the Noah show in Toronto at Budweiser stage, so stadium. It was $90 at the time for lawns. By July of that same year, last year, that ticket was $200. And by like September, there was hardly any tickets left, and they were already $400 for lawns. Do you see what can happen to your career? It can be fast. And now he's going to be here very soon, right? He's on that trajectory. He's doing amazing collabs. So I love that. Okay, so Noah Kahan, who else?
JP Sachs.
JP Sachs. So JP Sachs is sort of backwards a little bit. He's not 100% in stadiums anymore. Like he can't headline here.
Hmm.
He's here. Okay, JP Sachs is here. We have two artists that I have worked with are opening for him in the Montreal show. Two, okay? Justin Nozuka and Kaya Gamble. How effing cool is that? Pretty cool. Who lives in Montreal? Who's going March 7th? Anyway, going backwards. I also work with Roy Woods. Roy Woods would have been stadium and even arena. He is open for Drake, right? He has performed stadium multiple times. He this year went backwards and did a full bar and club tour on his own so he could headline it. So like JP Sachs would open for. He's not gonna. Does that make sense, Emma? He's not. He's not gonna be the headliner. So who's another headliner that you could see yourself going after?
Brandy Carlisle.
Yes, very cool. And I think her fans are 100% going to love you. So Emma's writing all this down under them so that she can get inspired. If you wanted to go even further, you would want to do another little layer here. And I'm going to call that measurable results. Okay? But you could put it, name it anything you want. What I like is under all of that, I want to start really thinking, how many songs do I need? What are the measurable results that I need here? Because I'm telling you to open for any of the artists that Emma is talking about, she's going to need approximately 8 songs released that are fire. Like fire. So that might be 10 songs and 8 of them are doing really, really well. Because how are you going to do at least 30 minutes, 25 minutes without 8 songs? Okay, and maybe like one of them could be a cover, but they have to be released, right? They have to be out in the world. So what's a measurable result? What's another measurable result, Emma, that you might need? So we need songs. What else?
I think history of ticket sales.
And this is the interesting, A or B. Yes and no. I'm going to say you just need some kind of interest from fans, but not necessarily ticket sales. So, like, Kaya Gamble has never sold one ticket at all, whereas Justin Nozuka has, right? He's been on tour and, again, booked his own tours quite a bit, right? Like, quite a bit of his own tours. Olivia Lunny, who we've spoken about and has been a guest for our mentorship program, she just opened for Ellie Goulding, and then an artist named Loreen in the UK, right across the UK and parts of Europe as well. Really amazing. 28 days, 28 shows in like 56 days. Unbelievable. Never has been on tour in her life and was not responsible for selling one ticket. So sometimes you are responsible for selling the ticket, right? Sometimes James Favron's going to do a show and he's going to say, Emma, can you at least bring out 50 people? So that's proof of ticket sales. So that really depends on you. I feel like ticket sales are more of a thing in bars. Yes, the smaller the artists that you are on the bill with, they are going to want you to draw people. But if the artist is big, they're really looking for a different measurable result. They're looking for the artist that their fans are going to love and legitimately can warm up the audience. Like, that is your role. Warm up the audience, you know? Like, are you going to do a good job? So we need number of songs. And for each one, I'm going to say this is at least 8. This, how many songs? To really do stadiums, that would be now an hour set. You're going to have at least 15 to 20 songs that are killer. Killer. How many albums does Noah have? Like 3 already. Albums. Right? He's got like 3 albums worth of music. Okay? So that's how he can do this, because you're not going to play every B cut. You're going to play the hits. You're going to play the ones that people really, really love. And then obviously you're going to throw in some ones, and maybe you're even going to have a guest come out. Maybe Emma's going to be his guest next time, which would be awesome. And then what about an arena where the show is like 2+ hours? How many songs do you need for that? At least 3 albums, I'm going to say, right? So Noah has 3 albums here, but for an arena, definitely at least 3 albums worth of music, don't you think? It's like, and we got to have a major fan base. So what are the streams? I'm going to say you're going to have to be in the hundreds of thousands of streams. Hundreds of thousands. This, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions. These are measurable results. This is a clear vision. This is not a hoping. This is like, I'm talented. I really, I'm so talented. I could open for so-and-so. Yeah, sure, but not without measurable results. And then, so we got streams. We've got, I think the followers are an interesting thing. I've got followers. I think fans are even more important. Okay, so do we care about followers anymore? Not to the same extent, I'm going to say. It's not as much of a big deal. It was a huge deal in 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, when the industry really didn't have much happening. Do you know what I mean? Like, the industry was so focused on the numbers, and then they signed a bunch of people where the videos blew up on TikTok, and then, to Emma's point, the people couldn't sell tickets. They couldn't sell tickets. So they blew up on TikTok. People loved them, but then it just didn't kind of convert into a fan. We want fans. So that proof of fans, it's your engagement followers give you that counts. 100%. Anna. Anna's an artist that I work with. She's on Instagram right now. Amazing. Yes, 100%. Okay, so it's your level of engagement. So we've got to start measuring this. Okay, so this is a map that everyone's going to do. This is vision. This is vision. And you want to get really, really clear. The other thing would be a data check. So wherever you are, you can do, hopefully it looks like this. I'm just sort of going rough like this, okay? I want you guys to start doing some kind of data check that we can eventually in our mentorship group put into a deck, okay, of some kind. We did this last year and it's very powerful to do it. And this is a real data check. You want to mark down January, Feb, and so on, like this, okay, where your numbers are. And then follow the data. Literally follow the data. Are people engaging with that post? Why? Do some analysis. We can't, again, throw spaghetti on the wall and hope that it's going to stick. We need to know roughly how long does it need to be in the pot for. And so you guys need way more measures. I tried creating, discovered that I don't like creating content. Okay, well, it's the world. I mean, this is the hardest part, right? Those of you who are creatives and you're like, but I'm not a marketing person. You guys are creative. I'm not a business person. The people who are winning. That's the truth. The people who can get their mind around being the business person are winning. So you have to make a decision. You have to make a decision. James, come off mute because you're someone who's done this, and I think it's so important to just listen to what James is going to say about his mind changing around creating content. Thomas, who sent that. So go for it, James.
Yo, yo. Hey, everybody. Yeah, I mean, I think I just came to a realization that like content is not going anywhere, and it's just an extension of what I'm doing with the music, right? Like it's not like this combative thing where I'm like it's taking away from the creative self. It is another form of expression, and it's a way to engage with people. Like it really is an incredible way to make friends and make fans and engage with people. And so when you can just like get over that and start thinking about or feeling about social media like the enemy or like this, this thing that sucks away all the like the creativity or whatever, and just start utilizing it like a tool. Again, I think Lorraine, you said this so well. I personally feel like the thing that separates massively successful artists from people who kind of plateau and maybe change directions at some point is not your tangible skills. It's your ability to become good business people.
It's so
A
true.
lot of people are great musicians, great singers, great songwriters, but if you can't sell your product, you know,
100%. So we've got to believe in ourselves. We've got to believe in ourselves at such a high level. And I find that what I've been able to create, I think at LVS, and you guys can certainly speak to this more than anybody, the people who have worked with me, is that the artist community is so supportive that you will feel like even on the days that you don't believe in yourself, like someone believes in you, like a person on Instagram just said, James, right? Christina just said, James, because we recognize each other. You will see under the artists in any of our programs, people are liking and commenting, liking and commenting. It becomes your fan base, or at least an injection of some energy into the algorithm, right? So many people that we work with have huge fan base, but it's like that new little algorithm, that little boost. James also spoke about the identity. There's an identity to being an artist. Your identity is not the singer. Your identity is not the songwriter. Your identity has to be a creative. Your identity has to be, I am a problem solver. Creative people solve problems. That is what an entrepreneur does. And your problem, your crack. So let's talk about vision again around that. And we do this all the time, right? It's such a simple thing to sort of picture. But if you're here and you want to go there, let's say it is to embrace content. Okay, I tried to get online voice students and I had the beginning, no experience, online authority. Yes. Okay. So we have to, when I'm here, I have to know who I am. Everyone write this down. Who are you? Okay. Who are you? What do you do? Okay. So these are the questions. So who, What do you do that makes you unique? What makes you special? Right? What is the thing that lights you up? Because the reality is, I write songs. So does everyone else. That's why we can't use I'm a singer. Sorry. There's a million amazing, emotionally gripping singers. So it's got to be something else. What do you write about, maybe? Maybe you write about something so specific, so just targeted, right? Olivia Rodrigo, who I do not coach, but she writes songs of heartbreak and with a real discovery of F you. F you. All of the songs are F you. Does that, if anyone was at our boot camp yesterday, a little tip for performing and then writing songs too is I like to create an Excel spreadsheet for artists. Well, you guys create it, but with the song title, the BPM, the key, and then some kind of F. Like, what is the song about? Is it a fuck yes? Is it a fuck no? Is it a fuck you? Is it a fuck me? Or is it a fuck it? Okay? I just gave you like the best tip ever. So it could be like Olivia Rodrigo, it's between a fuck you and a fuck it. Like, really, it's like fuck you is a big one. Okay? But anyway, if you were Adele, who also writes a lot about breaking up, her discovery is self-discovery. It's like I'm healed. You know, it's like we broke up, but I'm better for it, and so are you. You know what I mean? So it's still a breakup song, but it's a bit more specific. Does this make sense? That could be your what. Here's another reality check and why we do the data. Where are you? Where is this? Because too many artists are here in their mind. Your vision, what you think is a vision, is you're living already here and you're not there. You're here. We need to know where the F you are. You got to know how many followers do you really have? How many of those people are really fans? How many people really show up for you? How many are going to show up for you? Does that make sense? And we're going to do all of this in ADI. We're going to do all of this in a much bigger way. Finally, we got to know who. Who are we doing it for? Who are we doing it for? And we got to know here. Who are we doing it for now? Who are we going to do it for here and here and here? It's going to change. The who, as we just did with the other map, is going to change because from here I've got to attract these people. I can't attract the people who are here. That's not my goal. My goal is to attract people right in front of my effing nose. Your family, your friends, your city, your country. They're right here. Okay? And everyone wants to leapfrog and get here too soon. You're impatient. Noah has been making 3 albums. Like Emma, we were just talking about. 3 albums worth of music where no one knew his name. And now everyone knows his name. But he made music here, from here. Music he loved. Stories that were relevant to his life now. Does this make sense? If you're making music, like in the future, it's going to be a problem. This is the music industry went to this weird time, and actually many of the times that I was recording here at Noble or Phase One, which is another great studio too, people were always sort of chasing the arena show, chasing the big data, chasing the hit. Don't do that, because wherever you are, you should be making music to the people that are listening to it right now. Does this make sense? If you really want to have millions and bajillions of streams, you have a much better chance of that happening if you actually make music that moves you. If you're chasing, you're just going to keep chasing. Does this make sense? You're just going to chase and keep chasing. We don't want to do that. We want to be where we are and love it right now. Love yourself, love the music you're making, love the people around you. Here is one more part of this vision that I think is super important. In order for me to get there, I have to have the patience, the discipline, the consistency to keep this train going forward. How are you going to do that? How are you going to do that? All on your own? Because here's the other big part of this that we always talk about too in all of our programs is what can you afford? Okay, I love writing, so what can you afford? Okay, what can you, I need the you, okay? What can you afford? What does that even mean? I'm here, and I want to go there. I do want to go there. I know I want to play arena shows or stadium shows or bars and clubs. Like, listen, the goal might not be the same for everybody. Okay, the goal might not be the same for, I work with Neon Dreams. Neon Dreams used their data, leaned into it. A song from their back catalog just happened to be blowing up in South Africa in 2020. And they decided that Canada, which is where they're from, wasn't showing them the love. Their follower conversion to fan was low. The industry was not fully embracing what they were doing. They decided to lean into the data. Okay, leaning into where they are, where they were at the time, but like what was working? What is working here? That could be your what. What's working and what's not working? What's working? Olivia Lunny, going back to her, what was working and what wasn't working? Canada has yet to put her on a Spotify playlist. She has never been on New Music Friday, and yet she just opened for Ellie Goulding on tour. I mean, that's like insane. So what did we do? We talked about it, we brainstormed, and just like Emma, it's like Canada's not it. We can reverse it, we can reverse engineer it, make the story bigger, and then come back to Canada. Okay, and people do it all the time. People use Canada to do that. People do that all the time to reverse engineer. At any rate, where you are right now is going to start then to create momentum to here. So I have to have patience, consistency, and I have to know and lean into who are my fans now. Okay, does this make sense? From here, where I know I really am, I am not talking about my potential. Of course, we all could be somewhere. Sometimes I'll say, I could be a really good tennis player. Okay, I say these things out of my mouth. I could be such a good tennis player. Well, guess what? If I don't put in the work, if I don't practice, if I don't go on the tennis court, I am not going to be a very good tennis player. So from where I am and who I'm attracting, who I want to attract, I'll go back to this one that we were doing, this one. You should, when you're talking about these artists here, we want to start following them, liking and commenting, observing what kinds of content are their fan base liking, and do the exact same thing. Does that make sense? Yes, and then you're going to like and comment in a really amazing way. You're going to not just put, emojis, you're going to make yourself known. Like Emma, you could literally be saying, I love the lyrics to that song, and that's exactly what I do in mine. That's exactly what I try to do in my songs as well. I really love the lighting of your last music video. It inspired me to try the same thing for my next music video. So I call that looping, where I'm saying a compliment and I'm looping it back to myself. Okay, I just, again, I like to coin phrases all the time, but I call it looping. So I'm saying something that's going to hook people back to me. And trust me on that. I've had artists open for big artists just by doing that one thing alone. They have followed the artists that they really resonate with. They know that their fan base is going to like what they're doing too. So we want to convert other people, other artists' followers to us. We're not taking them away from those artists. We're just, hello, I'm here. Ooh, you might find me interesting too. Does this make sense? And it works. And then sometimes, if you're lucky, it can build a relationship, the relationship of which can move into DMing. And once you're into DMing, you can also start to notice, like again, using Noah, where are you performing? Like John Muirhead, who's in our mentorship program, knew that Noah was coming to Toronto, and he started posting on his social media, I would love to open for Noah. I would love to open for Noah Khan. I would love to open for Noah Khan. Guys, put some pressure, tag Noah. Here's a cover of Noah. I love Noah. I love Noah. And he made it so known. He must have made 20 or 30 pieces of content, stories, online, da da da. It got the attention of a friend of a friend of a friend at Ticketmaster. Okay, no kidding. A friend of a friend of a friend at Ticketmaster who said, do you want to open? We're going to put you in the stage right beside Budweiser in the whole thing. So it's like a pre-show, and we're going to put you on the effing ticket. Your name on the ticket. What are you guys doing? Vision is now taking the dream and putting some reality to it, seeing some vision. And that means that consistent action needs to happen. Consistent action needs to happen each and every day towards the goal. So we start to see the gaps. Yeah, James, go for it.
I just want to say too, it doesn't have to exclusively be with other artists. Like if your vision, I'm working on a corporate partnership pitch right now because of the same thing. I use the services that this business provides regularly, and they've engaged with me to some small degree. And so then I was like, oh, I'm going to try to find a way to capitalize on this. And so I'm working on a pitch with a marketing guy to do that. So like, it doesn't use this, what Lorraine's talking about, in every way. It doesn't have to just be artist to artist. If you're trying to get into like music placement in movies and stuff like that, like find music programmers, use what Lorraine's talking about in any way that it might benefit moving your career in the direction you want it to go in.
100%. So if we're going to follow the artist side, we are looking at the kinds of content that they're doing. We're trying to attract their fan base to come to us. Okay, so that is really great. What James is talking about is sort of another layer. I just wrote an article for Canadian Musician Magazine, and it was one of the strategies to attracting the audience was to align yourself with some kind of corporation, charity, organizations. This can accelerate your fan base because now you're in front of a much, much bigger audience. It's so smart, and so many artists actually do it. You will see actors doing it too, whether it's becoming a UN ambassador or, some alignment of a charity. Maybe it's the Humane Society if you love dogs and pets, okay? Anything. And then you're the one who gets to sing at the corporate event. You're the one who they might think of, right, to perform on a regular basis. Maybe they'll put your stuff out in their newsletters, whatever it might be. So this is so important that we can start to align ourselves with a problem solve. If I know where I am and I know where I want to go, I have a problem too, don't I? I have a problem and I have to solve it. These are some of the strategies to solving the problem. We want to accelerate the journey too, and it's really through relationships that you're going to do that. And of course, all the artists in our mentorship program, which the majority of you guys who are on right now, you know that by being surrounded even with that core, people know people. Here's another really amazing thing. You have a dream. A dream lives in your head. I'm just trying to make the distinction between dreaming and vision, okay? A dream lives in your mind, and you may even pray about it. You could meditate on it, and it's kind of yours. It's like recording again on your own in your house. There is so much about that is just affordable. It's safe. It gives you security, right? All those things. But unless I can change my proximity, unless I can put myself out there, right? Unless I start to declare it, saying it out loud on social media to friends and family, this is my vision. This is where I'm going. This is where I believe I've got it, and I'm putting out music this year. And after that, I'm doing this. And then oh my God, you guys got to come to my show in 2 months. If you're not talking about it at that level, no one can fill the gap for you. No one. You have to learn, like, look where I am. You know why I'm here today? I love Noble Street so much. Because, oh, so sorry. I just dropped my phone. So sorry. I dropped you on the ground. Because I know Donnie really well, who manages Noble Street Studios. And so he had a free day. That's filling the gap. He's like, Lorraine, do you want to change your proximity so you can do something really fun and do a webinar from here? How cool is that? That's relationship. Relationship. And so what relationships are you around that are going to motivate you and inspire you and keep you going? It's like, I don't want to be so afraid of criticism or suggestions in my life. I want to be open to them. That's how I'm going to get better. That's how I'm going to grow. What do you need? The question really, after all this vision work, is now, what do you need to fulfill it? Is it a proximity change? Like James, for example, he does our emails, and he often goes, like, to a coffee shop or somewhere where his energy can shift and change. If you're at home, maybe you feel bored or easily distracted. Maybe there's other things, but when you pull yourself out, you got to get dressed a little bit. You got to pull, like, I loved our boot camp yesterday. It was so much fun. It's like it gets people out of their comfort zone and into another space. Does that make sense to everybody? Jason, you did such a great job yesterday. It was so awesome. How did it feel? Yes. Come off mute and talk about it. Come off mute, unmute. Still on mute. Oh, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, I felt like we gave a lot of energy, and it was great performance. We could have done better, but I mean, I was very happy with how it went off, and I think the people were loving it. Everyone was enjoying it, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Okay. So everyone go check out Journey Back to the Soul and their new single. It's so awesome. Yeah, you felt like it was one step up because you put in the time and the effort and the money to work ahead of time to plan all those moments, right? Creating memorable moments. And then now Jason is just doing it a lot, isn't it? It's like now oh, I've got to do that for every song. And then I've got to put myself out there, which is why I called on you just now. It's like I could practice on my own, think that I'm amazing, and then I go out and I actually have to perform in front of people. My heart rate goes like, woo, right? My mind starts to go, la, 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 really loud. And then we're like, oh gosh, but I thought I was prepared. You forgot a step.
Yeah.
I can prepare in privacy. I know I want to perform for the public, which, by the way, is a lot easier. Hundreds of people, if not thousands of people, are easier to perform for than 10 to 20 people that you can actually see their faces, right, Jason? Like it's way scarier in a way, isn't it?
For sure. Absolutely. Especially like people who are all so good and so talented, right? Like, if you're playing a big show in front of hundreds of people, how many people have that kind of skill and have that kind of talent, right? Like everyone here was so good. Everyone was just amazing, right? And, it's humbling that we get such a great response, right? Because we're just trying to do our best, right? We're just people like everyone else, right? And just trying to do our best.
You did your best. You did so well. We just loved it. It was so awesome. So, yeah, I think being around other talented people, to Jason's point, it levels you up. Okay, I said this the other day, and I'm going to repeat it. When you play tennis, see, can you tell that I'm trying to be a better tennis player? When you play tennis with someone who's a little bit better than you, and I like the analogy of tennis a lot for songwriting as well. It's like when you have an idea, you hit the ball over the net, and then the next person hits the ball and gives you another idea, and then that goes to another idea. And no one is trying to smash the ball. You're trying to rally at this point. That's a great analogy for songwriting. If you're playing with someone who can't get the ball over the net, it's really hard, isn't it? You need to play with people that are at a similar level, if not a little bit better than you. That pushes you up. It rises. What if, Jason and his partner Sia, what if people were here and they came in and they didn't do the preparation, they didn't book the coaching session with me ahead of time, we, didn't get that chance to plan everything, then they would feel here. Does this make sense to everybody? It's like now everyone is operating here and we're here. That doesn't feel good either. I don't want to play tennis with someone who's so much better than me. I want to be here and I would want to do the work to now rise, and now they're going to be here. There's going to be some people who got really inspired by their performance yesterday and now they're going to put in more work. Jason, by the way, that's what's going to happen because they saw your level of detail. You really did some amazing detail, right? Those moments, the back to back and the walking here and the arms there and your jump when you did that jump at that amazing. So now Journey Back to the Soul is performing here. Their prep just went up. Guess what? All these artists that were there next time are going to rise to you. Does this make sense? So we start to push each other in a really beautiful way. So we don't want to work with people. It's getting back to that. I'm here and I want to go there. I don't want to work with people here. I really don't. I'm not ready. I haven't put in the time or the effort, the energy, the practice, the mental stamina. And we see the gap between the identity of the person of where they are. They're trying to create a fake it till you make it identity over here. And there's a gap. And the gap is too big. And guess what it gets filled with? Guess what it gets filled with? Drugs, alcohol, yes, people. And often they sabotage themselves. And I've seen it a million times, right? I've been in this business a long time. I started recording at the age of 16, performing probably from the age of 4 or 5, as a dancer, as an actor. Singing came kind of later in my life. Like I said, around 14, I went to Etobicoke School of the Arts, and at 16, someone said, come to the recording studio, just like this, come to the recording studio with me. My mom didn't even know where I was. I mean, I look back and I think my mom did not know where I was recording, honestly. But anyway, I went and I learned so much about recording because my friend had been recording. See, my friend had been recording quite a bit at that point. So I'm new. She's a little bit better than me. Guess what happened? The producers loved my voice, but I had no experience in the studio at all. So she recorded herself first, and I sang to her. See, it's the same idea. You can see this everywhere in your life, where you want to be around people who push you, encourage you, give you suggestions that lead to the growth. What we don't want is to be around people who criticize and judge and make you feel small. And you have to identify the difference, because there is a difference. And I don't care if that person is someone very significant and even someone who maybe you could work with and maybe even should work with, okay, one day. But if they make you feel small, or you make yourself feel small around them, then they're too high above you. You're playing tennis too high above you. Does this make sense to everybody? We've got to get good at noticing our emotional state. If you come into a recording studio like this like amazing. Look at it, it's so beautiful. If you come in here and you're a little nervous, but you're excited, you're a little nervous, like, oh my gosh, whoo! You've saved your money, you feel good financially to make this investment, you're going to really enjoy your time here. But if you are saving your very last dollar and you're watching the clock when you come to Noble Street Studios and like this is it, like you've dumped all your money here, I am telling you right now, you are not going to have a good recording session because you're working too high above yourself. You're not ready. Emotionally, you're not ready financially. Does this make sense to people? A lot of people will invest in producers, let's say, again, who want to bring them to gorgeous recording studios. It's super inspiring. Amazing. But if you feel like you're doing something too above you, you will sabotage it. It won't be your best work because your vision is bigger than where you are. Where we want to know is I'm here, I got my vision for where I want to go, and I am going to steadily work towards it. I'm going to surround myself with the right people at the right time. And every single day, consistently, I'm going to work on me. You're going to work on you, your mind. You're going to start to declare it and say it out loud. That's my vision. That's where I'm going. And people will start to offer suggestions. It's actually amazing. Then you got to listen. You got to listen for it. Because people are going to come out of the woodwork and go, just like that John Muirhead story. Hey, I know somebody who knows somebody. Are you ready? And then you're going to go, like, let's say, Journey Back to the Soul. No, I'm not ready. Because they did not have a coaching session. They hadn't mapped it out, really blocked their performance. Do you know what I mean? Jason, like, you understand what I'm saying? It's like the opportunity now comes and you are not ready because you were waiting. That's why waiting is deadly. Waiting is deadly. We got to be patiently working, patiently rising, growing. Again, suggestions leading to more inspiration, growth that pulls you in the direction that you want to go, that is not pulling you down, it's pulling you up. Yes? Does this make sense in terms of vision? Yes? Do we have a better, clearer idea of what vision really is? Because there is a difference. I don't want people to get stuck in the dream. You want to make your realities happen, you got to turn it into a vision. You got to turn it into something that you can declare. Okay, so what is an action we can take right now? Everybody. And maybe everyone can share it. What's an action that you can take right now? So one of the things that we're learning in our mentorship program, and in ADI, we take some action too, is I got to get ready behind the scenes. So let me put my hand up like this. This is you over here, working. And at some point, you got to climb up over the wall and start to share it over here, okay? I don't want to share too soon because maybe, I don't want to serve the chicken before it's actually cooked. Yeah? I don't mind showing that it's being cooked. See, that's the difference. Does that make sense? So when am I starting to share the vision? What's an action, again, like that tangible moment where like right now, I can take an action that's going to move me forward? What's an action? Get a subscription to Chorus? Okay, yes, go, do it. What's an action? Thomas, go do that. That's amazing. What's an action that you could take right now? Lauren, what's an action that you could take?
I could finalize the 3 songs that I'm working on with my new producer and then do it.
So what is finalized? What does that mean?
Well, I just had the phone call right before this, so I think I've got like a few hours. I don't have to do it right away, but I've got a list of demo songs that we've both gone through, and so I'm gonna pick my top 3. He's picking his top 3, and then we pick and start from there and see if it works.
Amazing. So you have a bunch of demos and you're going to choose 3 of them. Okay, good. So what's kind of fun at this point when you have a bunch of demos, by the way, Devin Cole, who's taken ADI, who I've coached privately as well, she got signed to Arista Records, not just because her video Witch blew up and went crazy. It's on the merit of her demos. And I just want everyone to know demos are cool. You don't have to spend a ton of money on recording. If I can just, put that out there for everybody. I love Noble Street Studios, but again, it's costly, right? It's costly to come here. You want to really save your money, get a film crew, make this like a thing, like really like be ready for it. But so those demos are so important. A lot of people are writing a song and recording a song. And they're recording everything that you guys write, but maybe it's not your best thing. So what are some of the measures, just looking at this map, again, Lauren, that might help you in choosing? Because if you do this, you can choose 3 songs that you know are going to attract where you want to go. Do you see what I'm saying? As opposed to like the best songs. I'm just gonna like, who cares the songs? Guys, if you're an artist, the songs should be good because you're writing them. But you cannot tell me right now that that Flowers song is the best song and deserved the Grammy for it. You cannot tell me that. Sorry, it's a good song. She completely stole it from Bruno Mars and then had to say, Bruno, can I have the rights to, it's a smart song is what it is. It's a smart effing song. And by the way, it's a fuck you song. You see? It's a fuck you song. You didn't love me. I'm going to buy my own fucking flowers. So it has an energy to it, Lauren. I would do, when you're looking at your, how many songs? Like 10 songs? Do you have like 10 demos? Just give me a sense of what you got.
14 in there.
14. Okay. I would make an Excel spreadsheet if you haven't already. I'd put the titles of the songs, like I said, the BPMs of the songs, the keys of the songs, and then what F is it? Because the 3 songs have to kind of work together if the plan is to sell those 3 songs or sell yourself on the merit of the 3 songs, right? It's like, are we using this to package? So in the day, that's how we sold ourselves. It was to record labels based on the music. The music really had to work together cohesively, often genre, very specific, blah, 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 blah. And so then we pitched it. And I made from 16 to 26, 20 at least albums worth of music, 10 to 12 songs an album, with various producers, both in LA and Toronto, all different genre, also kind of crazy. But I was all over the place. So your 3 songs now should probably have a very similar F. One should probably not be fuck yes, and then the next song fuck no, and then the next song fuck it. I don't recommend that. I actually recommend that they're all fuck no, let's say. Or they start fuck no, and one stays in no, but one starts in no and then becomes a yes, if you know what I mean. Because smart writers will do that too, where it starts in a place and then converts to another one. Does this make sense? And then also similar vibe. 2 of them should be very similar BPM, at least 2. And then have a third with a different BPM. So I'm being pretty strategic right now, for you to really win and make the selecting the 3 songs from the 14 demos easier.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So it's clear to the vision of where you're going and what you're trying to attract.
Yeah.
Someone else, you guys might be putting out a song every 4 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks. I would recommend doing the exact same thing. When you can hit with something similar, like boom, there's another one, there's another one, there's another one. An artist named Chris Gray, who's taken all of our programs here and I've worked with for years and years, he came on our mentorship program, and that's exactly the strategy that he started to use, which was just put out another song exactly the same. We're not showing diversity. See, as a creative, we're so desperate to show our diversity and our, all of ourself and all the different things that you can do and all the different stories you can tell. But you're not going to attract with vision, you're not going to attract the audience doing that. So we got to be way more smart, way more strategic. Lauren, I don't know if you've done this work, but really knowing who you are is a big part of that F part too. It's like, this is who I am as an artist. This is how I want people to see me. So if I used Olivia Rodrigo again, I would say she wants people to see her like what? We could kind of do maybe 3 buckets. One would be that I am a prolific songwriter. Prolific. Okay. One would be that I am an incredible singer. Like there's no quite, it is incredible. She's really quite undeniable as a vocalist, I would say, in terms of crafting her melodies and everything. But the other might be that she has a depth of anger, like she's willing to go places that other people don't emotionally. Okay? A lot of people want to inspire the world, and I love that, but so do millions of other people. So that why you're doing it, remember I said that we want who, what, why? where are you? So who, what, where, and then who am I attracting would be these fourth little things. But the who and the what, like who are you? What do you do? We got to solve a problem. If it's too general, you won't attract the right people. Someone else is doing it. Okay, so Olivia is winning because it's so specific. I could even go into marketing with you, and I bet you guys have all done it. She's even like made all of her color schemes mauve and purple, and that's how specific you have to be consistent. Taylor Swift wears red lipstick. She's had blonde hair her entire career. She's not changing her hair color every other day. She's not changing her look every other minute. If you do that, it's very hard for the audience to grab onto you again. We're trying to attract the audience right now from where you are. And then know that that is going to stay consistent as I'm working towards my vision. So Lauren, I hope that that helped you as a strategy for choosing your 3 songs.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And I'm assuming you've negotiated something for those 3 songs, right? Yeah, great. Yeah, great also to negotiate to do 3 songs than 1 at a time. You can always negotiate a better price if there is a package. The other way of negotiating is time. Time. So remember I said, what can you afford? Time, effort, money. If the producer or whoever you're it could be a videographer or whatever you're negotiating, if you know that you have 3 songs, not only can I say, will you do this price for 3 songs? I want them done by the end of May. I want them done by April. By the way, you'll get an even better price. I want them done by the end of March, and you're going to get an even better price. Time is a phenomenal negotiator. I can pay you all of it up front. You just got an even better price. Ooh, and the effort. If you are a pain in the ass to work with, your price just went up. Sorry, if you're picky over every snare sound and every little da-da-da-da-do, your price just went up with the producer. If you send them tracks that are not like, let's say you're trying to do a lot at home to save money, if they're not well done, and Jason, you can talk about this, is exactly what happened. The price goes up, doesn't it? All of a sudden the price goes up. You think you're saving money, you're not saving anything, because now it's costing time and effort on the producer's side. So this is now communication skills. Communication skills are superbly important. That's that entrepreneur in you. If you cannot talk, if you cannot say what you want, what if the song doesn't have an F? Oh no, it doesn't have to have it, Divine. So nice. Mwah. So it's just sort of my funny way of identifying what the song is about quickly. So I'm just going to answer someone on Instagram. It's my way of identifying a song fast. So is it an F you, an F me, an F yes, an F no, or an F it? Okay, and that just helps me. And then again, smart songs might start with one and move into another one. Okay, does that make sense to everybody? It's a fun way of doing it. Also, it is so clear to like a lighting designer. If you're putting now a song like a show together, you have your Excel spreadsheet, you can absolutely give this to a lighting designer. They love to know what the BPMs are because they'll program the lighting accordingly, and what the mood of the song is. And you cannot write a whole script because nobody is reading that. Do you know what? No one's reading 3 sentences about what the song is about. So I just came up with this fuck yes, fuck no thing because it's fast, and it's kind of fun. And it works. And it really, really works. So it helps everyone on your team know exactly what the song's about. And then all of a sudden your stylist or whoever's doing the video for you, everything becomes clearer. And it's not this like existentialist, philosophical, like my song's about and write a Bible. Don't do that. Because if you do, it's really like too much. No one's going to read it. Does this make sense? Today was fire. Like, I just gave you so many things. I would rewatch this. I just gave you so much. Does that make sense, Divine? Awesome. Today is the last day to join ADI for a ridiculous price. But even at the regular price, it is worth it. And you will hear artists over and over and over again talking about how ADI really changed their life, not just their career. And over 4 weeks, we're really going to dive into these subjects in greater detail and more than this. Plus, we have amazing guests. Olivia Lunny is coming on as a guest. We have Def Jam coming on as a guest. And then I have a special guest on the last week where the artists are going to have to pitch themselves to. So that's kind of exciting. If you have any questions, I'll stay on here for another couple minutes, but I think this is pretty huge. Really taking your dream, making a vision, make a map, start to see it in more specificity, okay? And then start to tell people what you're doing. What are you up to? Because people will help you, but no one can help you if it lives in your mind. No one can help you if you're alone in your bedroom, okay? Does that make sense to everybody? Lauren, we would love to see you in ADI. It would be awesome. And anyone else who's interested, Melissa Moore, love it. Bucola, so great to see you. Emma, always so great. Jason, so great. James, mwah. Everybody, Instagram, go for it. Invest in you. Invest in you before you invest in other people. Before you invest out, invest right here. Okay?